I'm going to teach you and you how to do a clutch on a non-turbo 3000 GT. Well, he's really going to do it. I'm going to tell him how to do it, and then he'll show you, but I'll tell him, and then he'll show you. So you'll still learn. So the goal is to get the clutch job done today. I used to do this when I was his age, maybe a couple years older. 4 to 6 hours. So 4 to 6 hours. You got it?
That's not happening.
All right, well, we'll see. With my expertise, you could be the best.
Like no one ever was?
What?
You don't understand?
No. I don't get it. Pop the hood.
Terrible. You're terrible.
Pop the hood.
No childhood experience.
2JZ. No shit. So we're gonna start with taking the battery out. So you're gonna disconnect your terminals there. They're probably 11 mil. Then we're gonna take the tie down off, which is a 10 mil, and get that battery out of the way. So get to it, dude. Get off your phone. Let's go.
Whoa.
Let's go, dude. All right, you're gonna work on that intake now and get that out of the way. You either need a flathead or a 10 mil to get that aftermarket intake out of the way.
I guess.
To disconnect it from the throttle body, and then you might as well take this filter off, and then find the probably 10 mils holding the bracket to the mat. There you go.
Who's gonna record for me then?
The tripod.
That's terrible.
Just gotta make sure you unplug your mat pigtail and your, I don't know, blow-by hose from your head there. Oh, very good job. Parts. You're starting here.
Yeah, it's going over there.
Next, you're going to take that washer bottle out. You got 4 12 mils right up on top, and there's going to be 2 connectors right underneath. Off the back of the pump, other one's right here. Bam. And it's off. And then disconnect the feed. Bam. Washer tank's out. Now that you got the battery tray intake out of the way, you're gonna have to take out the motor mount, the shifter cables, and disconnect the slave cylinder down in there. I like to do the shifter cables first, so you gotta take out the clips up top there on the bracket, and there's some cotter pins down there that you take out to pop them off, and then you just swing them out of your way.
Sling them to the side?
Yeah, pull them out and sling them to the side, dude. Pull them out, off to the side. Perfect, nice work.
Off to the
transmission mount / bracket. 14 mils through the frame rail, 17 mil through the transmission mount bracket. So to get the transmission bracket out, you have to take off the tire to get the 4 bolts that go through the frame rail. So you see those 4 rubber grommets there, you're gonna have to pop them out, and once you pop them out behind there, you're gonna see, I think they're 12 mils, they might be 14, I can't remember, but you're gonna take all 4 of them out. Then you'll be able to get out the transmission mount up top. Use some needle nose and pull the rubber grommets out.
just like that.
14.
Yep.
Yep, it's 14 mil on
There
the
it
4
is.
bolts. $17 mil through the transmission mount. There There you
I
go.
like it.
Okay, so the shifter cables are out, the motor mount, or the trans mount's out. I keep calling it a motor mount. Now you gotta get in there and get the slave cylinder. This is not zooming, there it goes. Two 12 mils down in there on the slave. We disconnect it off of the transmission so that way we don't have to open up the lines and bleed the system.
Kind of stuck. Hold on. There we go.
Make sure you disconnect the plug on the transmission there and then undo the harness that's tied to it. Yep, just like that. And then for the most part, up top is all done. You do gotta undo the speedometer cable that's plugged in back there.
This thing.
Yep, but there's gonna be a pin in it that's holding it. Okay, not on that
No, there's
one.
not.
Not on that one, there's not.
Not this
Alright,
time.
Usually there's a small pin holding it that you gotta pop.
Not that.
So on the bottom side of the car, we're gonna take out the 14 mils for the bracket to the transmission. That should be 4 of them, but we only got 3 here. And then we're gonna take the starter out, 2 12 or 14 mils, and then disconnect the electrical. And then the subframe bar that runs north to south here, for all 14 mils also, we're gonna pop off. With the
14s?
subframe being out, we'll take the starter out. I believe they're 2 14s to take the starter out.
Yep, 14. What is going on here?
One is like,
What size is that?
that's a 12 mil, and then disconnect that little plug on the end of it there.
What is that?
It just pushes in and pulls out. The little plug pushes in and pulls out. There you go, with your baby ass fingers.
Bro.
Another one's a 12. So we're gonna pull the CV axles. We're gonna take off the axle nut, 32 mil with the cotter pin, the 2 17s here going through the coilover, and the hub assembly, along with the brake line on the back, which is a 12 mil, should be on the back of the coilover holding the brake line. CV nut out. Just go ahead and pull that hub down and push the axle through the hub assembly. Got it out? Perfect. Nice work. Before we pull the CV axle, we're gonna have to drain the transmission. So we're gonna drain, don't mind the beeping, just the carbon monoxide.
Mind the
alarm went
beeping.
off. But drain 24 millimeter right there on the transmission, so that way we don't make a mess when we pull the axles. I'm dual wielding.
We're both dual wielding.
I'm dual wielding 2 phones.
It's probably not good for your health. Oh, there's like nothing in this. Look at that.
That really worries me. Since we figured it out, it's a transmission issue, not a clutch issue. We're gonna finish pulling the CV axles and popping the trans off. We're still gonna put a fresh clutch on it, but we're gonna have to pull the trans and see if we can fix it somehow. I got a parts trans here. Maybe we can Frankenstein one together. Taking the driver's side axle out is the same as the other side. Take off your wheel, take out the bolts going through the hub assembly, take off your line. Same as the other side, take off your coilover bolts going through the hub assembly and your brake line. And your cotter pin and your castle nut on the axle also. After the CV axle is disconnected, you're going to take out the intermediate shaft with it here. On this bracket, you're going to go up. There's going to be 2 bolts, 2 14s, straight up. You can kind of see it there, up on this bracket. You're going to take those off the back of the block. After you get the 2 bolts out, you're going to stick your pry bar up in between the block and the bracket, and you just pop it off. Just pop it that way. There you go.
Okay.
Now your CV axle and intermediate shaft's going to pull this way. Ain't going to come all the way out because it's still half. Put it in there. Just pull it like that. And then it should come out. Come my way. There you go. After removing all of this, we're ready to drop the transmission. To take the bolts out, you're gonna have 2 bolts on the bottom side of the trans. Just here. One's gonna be going through this motor mount here, coming through here, going right up into there. And the other one's on the back side, way easier to get to. Just that bolt right there. Then there's gonna be 4 bolts on top after you get those 2. So to go through the motor mount, you're gonna want something set up like this. Some extensions on your 17 mil, and it's gonna go through the bracket onto the 17. All reliable from Harbor Freight here. Got in the back one. Up top here, we're gonna take this trans mount bracket off. 3 17s, that one's already out. And there's gonna be 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, one up here to drop that transmission. All 17 millimeters. So we got the trans off, there's the clutch, there's the trans. Unfortunately, we don't have a clutch issue as much as we have a trans issue, but we're still going to replace the clutch. On the pressure plate, you're going to have 6 12 millimeter bolts. 6 12 millimeter bolts, dude. So you need a 12 millimeter with the impact to go ahead and take it off. After taking the 6 bolts out of it, you'll take a flathead, pry in between the pressure plate and the flywheel, and pop it off the dowel pins. But you got to be careful because the clutch disc is going to come out with it, so you want to make sure to catch it so the clutch disc don't fall and damage the floor or the clutch disc itself. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
When it's off, you're going to want to check your flywheel for any damage. And also, you might as well pull your flywheel off and check your rear main seal while you're here, in case it's leaking. Because to do your rear main seal, clearly you got to get to this point. You don't want to do all this job, put it all back together, and not replace your rear main seal. 14 mil on the flywheel bolts. When you're doing it, you want to press on the flywheel bolt, because if you're not on there all the way and you're using a big impact like this, you're going to strip it, and you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Wiggle it off the crank, and that rear main seal looks like shit! We replaced the rear main seal, resealed the pan. Now it's time to finally put on the clutch kit. The flywheel up, line it up to the bolt holes. Put all 8 bolts in, and then you torque them to 55 foot-pounds. With your accomplice holding the crank side, you're going to torque these flywheel bolts to 55 foot-pounds, and then we're going to mark them. Dude, stop the recording. How did you know? Flywheel is retorqued on. Now to get the clutch and pressure plate. The clutch alignment, 3 dowel pins, 1, 2, 3. Match up your pressure plate up there. Go ahead and put it up. Same thing like the flywheel, torque it in a star pattern. These ones are 13 foot-pounds, and then we'll also mark them. Clutch kit installed. Now just go ahead and reassemble everything else in the reverse steps, and you're good to go.